Hi guys, it's Katie from Goblin Co. back with another episode of my vlog, and I thought today I would talk a little bit more about our upcoming game, Dungeon Breakout, and the Kickstarter campaign that we're planning on launching next month to support the production of that game. I know that Sean has done a little bit of pre-promotion about the Kickstarter campaign on his social media channels in the last week, and that's resulted in a lot of people getting excited about the game and a lot of questions about the game. So I thought that today I would go ahead and use my vlog post to answer some of those questions, talk a little bit more about the Kickstarter campaign that we have planned, and kind of about our philosophy of how to use Kickstarter in general. And then also, I hope you guys will stick around for the end of the video because I'm gonna ask you some questions. We got a lot of really valuable feedback from you guys in the past, and we have more questions that we'd like to leave open for the fans. So hopefully you'll stick around to the end of the video to answer some of those questions down in the comments and provide us with that super valuable feedback that we appreciate so much. So first of all, if you're new here, welcome to my YouTube channel. This is the place where I talk about new Dungeon Degenerates releases, upcoming projects that we're working on here at Goblin Co. and make all of those types of announcements. So if you like what you're seeing, please go ahead and like the video and subscribe to my channel because like I said, this is going to be your best place to get the news about what's happening next here at Goblin Co. That said, let's get right into it. What is Dungeon Breakout? Dungeon Breakout is a fast-paced, easy to learn, quick to play party game that is fun for the whole family, perfect for mixed groups and gamers of every level, even folks who would never consider themselves gamers. But don't worry about it being too easy. Don't think of it that way. Think of it instead as a way to get your less experienced gamer friends into the world of the Worst Strike. And we are including special optional rules in the game that make it more challenging if that's what you're after. The price point for the game is going to be $30. We're trying to get it down lower than that, but right now, what things cost, it's looking like we're going to hit right about at a $30 price point. We're of course going to offer special Kickstarter pricing. We're looking at a $25 Kickstarter buy-in, and we're going to do a limited number of early bird games where we're going to offer those ones for just $20. So if you're interested in this game, you're going to want to get in on the Kickstarter right at the beginning so you can get one of those early bird priced games. We are also going to offer the full line of Dungeon Degenerates Hand of Doom stuff in this Kickstarter. So this will be a great way for folks that maybe missed a prior Kickstarter, especially Europeans, to get that whole assortment of materials and be able to pay the cheaper shipping that we're able to offer by bulk shipping everything over to Europe and then having a fulfillment company send things out for us. So hopefully you guys will be excited about that as well. We will be including a special Kickstarter exclusive monster mini in this campaign, just like we've done in all the previous campaigns. And we also are going to be debuting, I believe it's 8 new monster minis in this campaign. So it's going to be 2 sets of 4. So for the folks out there in the audience that really dig the minis and painting the minis and using them in the game or just displaying them, there's going to be a lot for you coming up in this campaign. We're also going to do some special bundles that are going to offer savings for people that are interested in, getting more than just the base game by itself. If you're interested in getting more things, we're going to have special priced bundles for that. So there's going to be a lot of cool stuff on this campaign. We're pretty excited about it. The timeline, we are looking to run the Kickstarter in late March. And then we are planning to be working on finishing up the game. We're at the stage right now where we're making the second prototype and we are starting playtesting with outside playtesters who aren't part of the inner circle here. And then we of course need to finalize design considerations and all of that stuff before it goes to press. We're looking at like April, May, June to finish playtesting and tightening up all the design stuff and getting it ready for press. And then June, July, August is the press time. And then it takes, unfortunately, a while for things to get here from our press in China. So we're looking at probably mid to late October for delivery of the games, which is great because that means they get here before the holiday shopping rush starts. And, the USPS kind of goes crazy during that time period. So we don't really want to have our fulfillment going on at the same time as everyone's trying to do their holiday shopping. It just kind of creates a mess. So it's a pretty nice tight timeline that I like a lot, and hopefully you guys will like as well. We do like to run our Kickstarters when we're pretty much ready to go to press so that there's not that much delay time for you guys, our fans, in terms of when you're going to be able to get that stuff from us. Now, we do have other Kickstarter campaigns planned for this year, and even though it's not a good look to run a new Kickstarter campaign when we have not yet delivered on the old one, I think you guys are going to actually understand the philosophy of what we're trying to do here. Whenever we do these projects, like I said, there's, the lead time where we're working on finishing the game and getting it ready to go to press. But then once we send everything off to the press, we've got a 3 to 4 month kind of dead zone where we're not working on the project anymore and we're just waiting for the press to do their thing. So what we've been thinking about is if we go ahead and run the next Kickstarter for the next project, once we move into the dead zone for this project, that allows us to kind of, I guess you want to say leapfrog the Kickstarters, so they're crossing over each other, which again, I admit it's not the most elegant thing in the world, but what it would allow us to do is bring those future Kickstarters and those future projects to you guys even faster, because we wouldn't have to sit there waiting around for 3 or 4 months and then do fulfillment and then run the next Kickstarter. So I hope that that's understandable and you guys are okay with that. I think our track record for delivery on our Kickstarters speaks for itself. Obviously, Sean having a stroke messed up the tarot deck Kickstarter, and that one is just indefinitely on hold until he's recovered and able to do more artwork. But other than that one, we've delivered on all of our Kickstarters. A couple of them were a little bit later than we expected them to be, but we were well in communication with all of our backers about that. And I think you guys know at this point that we can be trusted and we're not just gonna take the money from the Kickstarter and run off and never deliver you something. So that's kind of, I guess, a question for the end is how do you guys feel about the idea of overlapping or leapfrogging those Kickstarters on each other? Again, I think it's a really good thing because it allows us to move even faster and get stuff from idea to finished project in your hands even faster than we would if we had to wait to deliver each Kickstarter before we started the next one. So hopefully you guys trust us and are on board with that. But again, let us know. Please comment down below and tell us how you feel about that, because we want your feedback. We care a lot about what you guys have to say about this. I'm sure a lot of you guys feel super invested in the whole world of Dungeon Degenerates and what we're doing. And so we really value that fan feedback that you guys give to us. So thank you for that. Sorry, looking at my notes. The last note I have here is about funding for this game. So we are planning on setting the base goal for funding on our Kickstarter campaign at $35,000. $35,000 would cover everything that it costs to print and publish the game, to test it, to make the prototypes, to deliver it to you guys, to pay for the the fees and the various admin costs that are associated with running a Kickstarter. All of that stuff would be covered by the $35,000. What would not be covered by that would be paying Sean for his work on the artwork. Now, if you watched my previous vlog on this topic, or if you go ahead and watch it, you'll know that part of the reason we were able to bring such a dense game as Hand of Doom out for such a relatively cheap Kickstarter. We raised $79,000 on the initial Kickstarter to make that game, and that wasn't a realistic amount of money that it costs to make that game. I'm going to be real. We probably should have raised more like $150,000 to make that game. And the only reason that was able to work out economically was that both Sean and I never got paid anything for our work on Hand of Doom. So Sean put in over a year of working basically double time, doing his regular job here at Goblin Co., doing product development and illustration for that stuff, and also doing this giant mountain of artwork for Hand of Doom. So we wrote ourselves IOUs, which we haven't paid ourselves yet. But I just thought I would put it to you guys. We have an opportunity here to get Sean paid for the artwork that he's done for this game. Now, we are reusing artwork from Hand of Doom, but again, he was never paid for that artwork. So I asked him for a conservative estimate of what it would take if we were just gonna hire him to do brand new drawings for all of the monsters. There's at least 48 monsters in this game. We're going to have 8 different adventurers. I think it's 12 loot items, but there might be more. There's a bunch of map pieces. There's the cover art for the whole game and the rule book. There's a lot of artwork in this game. And the number that he came up with for me was $10,000, which I don't think is unreasonable. When you add on admin fees and the costs of the items that we have to sell in the Kickstarter to make it that much higher, you have to add on like a 35% to actually get to where you have a reasonable budget. So we would need to make an extra $15,000 on our Kickstarter over that base goal of 35 to pay Sean the $10,000 to do the artwork. So I don't want to set the base goal for the Kickstarter at $50,000. That feels too high for this. I want to set it at 35, but with kind of the knowledge that we're all going to pull together to bring it up over 50 so that we can get Sean paid as well. Because, well, I think he's worth it. I'm a little bit biased, but I think you guys think he's worth it as well, because I'm pretty sure you guys are gigantic fans of his artwork, just like I am. So that's kind of where we're at and what our thinking is for this campaign. So questions, again, how do you guys feel about the concept of the leapfrogging Kickstarters? I think it's pretty reasonable, but you know, again, I want to hear from you. Another thing is we're planning on not doing any stretch goals on this campaign, which does make it a little harder to get to that $50,000 that I just talked about. But stretch goals actually haven't worked that well for us in the past. We've generated a lot of excitement about unlocking stretch goals and then not met them. And it's like felt like more of a letdown than I think the excitement of, oh my God, look how great this campaign is going. So that's kind of a question for you guys also. I know a lot of people who are fans of Kickstarter in general and of games that get produced with Kickstarter campaigns really like to do the stretch goal thing because it kind of makes the Kickstarter itself feel like a game also. And I'm open to the idea of putting stretch goals in if we can find the right ones and if you guys think that's important. But I've just found in the past when we've done stretch goals on our campaigns, it's almost felt like more of a disappointment to not reach those stretch goals than to just like feel really pumped up about, oh my God, look at what we did manage to raise on this campaign, right? I hope that makes sense. So let me know about that. Another thing that we're thinking about doing differently this time is we're thinking of doing a longer Kickstarter campaign. The first Kickstarter that we did as a 30-day campaign, and it felt too long. It felt kind of like this grueling slog through the world of Kickstarter. But that was also our first campaign when we were pretty inexperienced. And so for every subsequent campaign that we've done them as 2-week campaigns to kind of keep it short and sweet, if you will. But I think we want to do this one as a longer campaign. I want to have more of a chance for it to blow up on social media, hopefully even go viral, really get a lot of people on board. But I'm not sure how you guys feel about that with the longer time frame, but also possibly the lack of stretch goals. So again, that's something where we would love for you to weigh in if you really feel strongly like you love the super short campaigns, or man, you felt like our past campaigns were just too short and you're super supportive of the idea of us doing a 30-day campaign. Again, comment down below, or you can always send me an email. My email address is katie@goblinco.com. That's pretty easy. We'd love to hear from you about this. And I guess the other question I have is there something else that you guys would like to see in this Kickstarter campaign? Is there an idea for something that you're like, man, they really should do? I don't know, it's your idea, not mine, right? So if you could go ahead again and comment below or send us an email or get at us some way with a piece of feedback about this, now is the perfect time to do it. We are again in the planning stages of the Kickstarter. We're planning on launching the Kickstarter late March, so about a month from now. We're not sure of the exact date yet. Of course, I will let you guys know once we get closer to launch. But yeah, now is the best possible time for you guys to kind of let us know if you think, oh man, this is a great idea, or oh yeah, that doesn't sound too good. What about this instead? Would be really helpful for us. So that's it for now. I think I've kind of talked everybody's ear off. Thanks to everybody who made it all the way to the end of this video, and to everyone who's going to leave us some feedback and comments. Again, we really appreciate it. Thanks so much for watching. I will see you guys again in 2 days for another edition of my vlog.